This is a choice that might seem like one based solely on charm. It's a funny game about an irritating goose. It's not hard to like that. I'm going to try and make the claim that it's far more than that though. My takeaway is it's probably the most successful attempt at a comedy game ever made. It seems like people kind of gave up on trying to make the funny game after point and click was invented. Point and click. Possibly the driest way you could ever ask someone to interact with a computer. There have been silly games and games plastered with one-liners and puns, but they've never really been their own thing. They're silly versions of established concepts. Duke Nukem's like a parody of Doom. Saints Row is a parody of GTA, and let's not get into GTA's attempts at comedy. They're comedy versions of games. Untitled Goose Game is a comedy game through and through. One of my go-to fuck-about activities in a game is to see how much I can wind up the NPCs without causing them any serious long-term harm. There's always something a little ill at odds about it though. Playing as some overprivileged tough guy fucking about with those with less power or confidence. I mean, in a lot of these games, it's an alternative to playing the game properly and straight up murdering them, so it doesn't seem so bad, but the balance is never totally comfortable. Nobody can be taken seriously for getting annoyed at a goose. Nothing makes a mockery of humanity's pompousness quite like a big goose running around with someone's prized possession. This is the brilliance of Untitled Goose Game. Untitled Goose Game almost seems like an accident. There's no way someone could consciously conjure up a dynamic this good. You're a goose who really bothers a village full of the English middle class. There's a button to honk. You can grab things in your beak and run away with them, and then drop them in the wrong place. And this is the whole focus of the game. You can nick someone's Sunday paper, probably the mail, and drop it in a pond. In fact, this is what you're supposed to do. It's a primary goal in the game. You can waddle about and honk as they fish it out in frustration. There's no reasoning with Wild Goose. You can't tell it off or effectively intimidate it. If there's a particularly malicious one about, you can't even hope for mercy. Your best course of action is to ignore it and hope it gets bored. But these villagers seem incapable of that. In fact, it's against their programming. The dynamic of pompous man gets frustrated with funny goose has universal appeal. There's no barrier of age or language or culture. It's made the game a massive hit with non-gamers. The fact that serious gamers are now frustrated with its popularity kind of mirrors that dynamic. The funny goose is messing up this thing they walled off, cultivated and took as their own. It's almost as if it was designed to remedy what's wrong with games culture. But no, there's nothing as lofty as that. It's a funny goose that everyone wants to play with. It doesn't even have a name. Pure, unrepeatable genius.